my video and audio here, and I'm going to send it over to Lisa.
Thank you, Rachel, and thank you everyone for joining. Words that I like to live by are life isn't perfect, but your outfit can be. And Hangar9 has had the honor to have a partnership with the House of Marie Saint Pierre for over 10 years. We are certainly honored to have Marie join us today live from Montreal for our new event format, Care of COVID. Every season I get inspired by Marie's recognizable style and her luxurious fabrics. I have to say the collection, which I own quite a few pieces, are great because they fit all of my lives, from travel to shopping to meeting my friends for dinner to formal event. Whenever I want to feel great, all I need to do is change my shoe and accessories, put on a Marie Saint Pierre, and I feel fabulous for the event. Before we start the show, I'd also like to review Marie's incredible and outstanding accomplishments. And I'm going to read them so I don't miss anything. Throughout her career, Marie Saint Pierre received numerous awards, grants, and rewards for her creation, her entrepreneurial spirit, and her commitment to the community. In 2007, she received the Knight of the National Order of Quebec. And it's the title of Knight of the National Order of Canada and the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal that is awarded to her in 2012. The first fashion designer to be admitted to the Arts Academy of Canada. Wow, Marie, you truly are talented. So now we're actually going to start the show. But before we start the show, Marie's going to give us some inspiration behind her designs and talk about her fabulous scuba fabric. Marie?
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I feel it's a new kind of event, and while we are all in our separate cities to connect like this, I hope you enjoy the presentation today. As you mentioned, my clothes are made to be convertible because I like clothes that can follow up on our day life. Everyday life, we have multiple tasks to attend. We have maybe less with COVID, but being true to a modern woman, we go from one task to another, and the clothes should be part of something that makes you go in a day. So as I always say, movement is at the essence of everything I do. So I carefully choose the fabric that we produce. We have produced for us, so we collaborate with Italian mills, top of the line mills that are dedicated to all of our values: planet, people, profit, and pleasure, and well-being, in order to bring the best that we can with the technology and with the newness of fiber, and in order to provide not only quality, comfort, but longevity and easy care, because easy care is also a big part of why my clothes are somehow so convertible. Scuba is a natural antibacterial fabric, so when you travel with it, you feel safer, and it truly is, and it's not just a statement. I use fabrics that have like 25 different properties for your body or for the sun, so they don't shade in the sun. They're strong. They can use a lot of wear and tear because I use the best fabric we can find. And comfort and well-being is at the center of everything. If you have a busy day, you don't want to feel insecure because all of a sudden your clothes feel worn out. There are wrinkled in a bad way or in a specific way. So I like when I design clothes, I always have in mind what the wearer is going to do with it and how long our day is going to be with it. And that's why a lot of the time people who buy my clothes tell me how much they wear the clothes and how much I am part of their lifestyle on an everyday basis. And I accompany them on so many different occasions, and that's really fantastic, because this is what I want to do.
I always remember you saying that you design, like you don't refine, you follow your own fashion artistic ability. You never really follow the fashion trends, and I think that's one reason why everybody gets such longevity out of your clothes, is because they're fashionable always, because they have such a, as I said before, a recognizable look.
Mm-hmm. It's truly a work of research and development that we do here with every single fabric finishing. I want to make sure that the garment is going to outlast you. It's going to keep going with you, and you won't be embarrassed, because it's not, I like fragility when it's ethereal. I don't like it when it's actually material, because then things break up and you're not confident. As I said before, movement is at the center of everything I do, and I'm really inspired by nature too. So there is always a very artistic point of view of what I do. I have a precise idea that I get inspired by. This collection was about the plant. I don't know in English. I'm sorry. It was a mixture of architecture and botanical and all of the lines that are carried through the nature on the leaf when you see the vein, all of these details that I go into macro. So it's kind of an ode to things that are the beginning of life. In botanical, herbs are so important right now as remedies, as well-being. Past season I've worked on insects that are going out of are getting instinct. I always have a purpose. I did a collection about whatever I find on the beaches when I did the Atelier collection, so remnants of what the sea brings back to the beach. So I always have an artistic point of view on things that are happening on the world, and they're always related to the environment and what we're doing with this planet. So for me, doing quality is really at the center of the sustainability movement. If you don't do quality goods, unfortunately, they're not going to last, and they're going to fill the planet with waste. So, and it's been my motto for ever since I started. I'm a very early adopter on things, and when I believe in something, when I first started my collection, it was very important to reuse. All the cut parts of the fabric I would keep in a bag next to the style I was designing, and I would try to reuse them to do some finishing, to do some design, to do some embroidery, in order to have the least possible waste on the garment. And I still do today. For me, it's at the center. And as a kind of an architect, the part that you cut fits perfectly the opposite of the part that is going to be sewn. So there's like you end up having a wonderful equilibrium or balance of shapes and so my process has always been to try to every step of the way when I develop to have those criteria in mind: well-being, planet, you know, and yet be, of course, original and creative, because that's the purpose of what I do, to have a point of view on everything. And fashion is a great way to especially these days, a great way to have a point of view. When you wear something that is well made and classic and qualitative, you kind of show people that you are going for the better things, maybe less things, but better things, which I think is the perfect way to be a good citizen.
That's right. That's the one thing that you always have control over. The only thing that you have 100% control over is maybe your appearance. And so that's why I'm a big believer. And even if I'm going to the grocery store, I'm like, I always want to dress and look nice. Sometimes my husband gives me the grief. He's like, we're only going to the grocery store, but I always feel like I'm somewhat on at a little bit of a fashion show. And to your point, that's been Hangar9's philosophy forever too, is that quality versus quantity. So my point of view, if if you can only afford one thing, then afford something that has longevity, makes you feel good, feels good on, and you can wear and you can manipulate it to suit any occasion. As you're going to see today in the show, we've done the looks very casual as our environment right now with everybody working from home. Not, as a Friday, we get to go to a restaurant, but a lot of like Toronto, unfortunately, can't. So we're showing the outfits very casual, but that's one thing that Marie's fashions do and does beautifully, is that it really honestly hits all of your lives. You're going to see a lot of the looks with running shoes, which is so perfect for this environment and for our lives, whether you're when we get to travel again, that you can pack a heel and a running shoe and basically sightsee all day, run home, change your shoes in your hotel room, go back out and enjoy a fabulous dinner. So we're going to start the show right now. First of all, I want to tell everybody what I'm wearing. I'm wearing what's called the flank dress. So it's made out of this scuba fabric. It's got her signature pockets here. And I have to say, it's super, super comfy. Love this dress. It will be, for those customers in London, you will see it on me often. First of all, I'd like to start with Rachel. Rachel's wearing the Lampy blazer, which was one of Marie's spring fashion collection. So it's made out of, the front is the navy. She's got the belt, but then there's this beautiful canopy print, which Marie, if you could just give us a brief inspiration towards this print.
Well, first of all, we develop our prints, and we have the pleasure of working our prints with Cirque du Soleil, the former atelier. So we developed the most beautiful printing techniques in North America. And I wanted that jacket to feel less conventional. So it was a hybrid between a robe, a jacket, a blouse with the wide sleeve. Making the sleeve with the print made me feel like you had wings, like I enlightened the whole jacket that has a certain kind of formality. I like to play with many different aspects, because to have that comfort of the construction, yet to have that how do you say that artistic, or that that spike of artistry on the sleeve with the ribbons, and it's also addressing the feminine side in the jacket world. So I'm always trying to balance the masculine and the feminine side, but with never forgetting about the fact that we are feminine, and we need to address it in a way, but not necessarily in a way where we do frou-frou and we do like unstructured pieces. It's good to address femininity even in a very tailored piece, and was the purpose of that piece.
The next outfit we have Silas in, and this is called the Lati dress. And it again is the scuba front. The top half is the scuba, and then we have the beautiful botanical print with the flowers that are blowing in the wind. They look like, and the great thing about this print is the flower represents the stem that is like our lives. It can blow with the wind, so you can go with the flow, but then it can also be stiff and stand tall. And what I love about this dress is, again, not only the fabric, but I love the feminine little touch of the exaggerated sleeve, which again is MSP signature sleeve, and it goes skinny, which thin, volume, and skinny, which again really makes for an attractive arm.
And I think what's fun about those pieces, that they're extremely light and extremely easy to pack. They will never be wrinkled. They are extremely comfortable, and you saw wearing it with sneakers, and you put like a pair of sandals or knee-high boots, and it can also transcend seasons. It's not seasonal dress. So I like to give the opportunity for the wearer to wear it in so many occasions. And yes, you can wear it with the tennis white shoes and just go on your day for a quick lunch, or you don't need to wait for the occasion. As a lot of clothes, you need to wait for an occasion to wear them. I like my clothes to be more part of you than part of the occasion. So for me, it's very important that you can twist them to your liking, twist them to your own lifestyle, and to your own even styling it the way you want. We show with very little jewelry, but some people love to wear a lot of jewelry. My clothes do well with it. The fabrics are not very fragile, so you can wear jewelry, bags, and everything, and they still, so the pieces being light, also they pack well in a suitcase. So if you travel often for short trips, whether you go for business or for pleasure, it's fun to go with a roll-on suitcase that you can bring in the plane. It's much more sustainable too. And with Marie Saint Pierre, you will have the pleasure of putting a lot of them in a suitcase. Believe me, we've done the test run many times, and you can bring a lot in a suitcase because they are light, even if they're constructed.
This is, now we're on to Rachel's wearing the Lucci dress. And this dress has, I want Jared to kind of zoom in and see. This dress has what I call wearable art. It has the leaf print on it. It's absolutely stunning. This is, one of those pieces that 12 months out of the year, you never take out of your closet. You can reinvent it. We've teamed it up with the Delphi one short to give it more of a sport, casual daytime look. But this also could be worn with leggings. Marie does a beautiful leather legging, leather pant, which would be stunning in the holiday time. But I think this piece is truly unique. And it's one that I could say to years to come, you kind of pass it down from generation to generation. It's a real beautiful vintage piece. It could be a vintage piece. Next, we have Silas, and Silas is wearing our comfy, better than a track pant, again, canopy print pant. This pant we've teamed up with Marie's silk t-shirt, which is so beautiful. Personally, I have it in every color. But the nice thing about this pant is in the fall, we could team it up with a big chunky sweater, throw on a boot. It would be a great travel pant because, again, as Marie says, her fabrics don't wrinkle. So for long flights, long car rides, it would be fabulous. And plus you can manipulate it very, very easily from day to night. We've teamed it again with the chunky running shoe, but this also could be worn with a beautiful stiletto for evening dinners.
And there's the trompe-l'oeil waistband on that pant that is fun because you can make, it's a high waist, black waistband, but when you look at the pant, you can look at it as if it's a low-waisted pant, so much more casual. But the high waist gives it also the support on the belly. So it's like a comfortable, really comfortable pant that has a little bit of a trompe-l'oeil and can enhance your silhouette with it. So that waistband.
Oh,
that's okay.
Next, we have Rachel in the Chini dress. And what I love about this dress is the light fabric. Again, great for these temperatures. Light, a lot like the jacket that Rachel wore in the first outfit. So we have the beautiful, again, printed sleeve. But I love the highlighter pink ties at the wrist. And I think that's just a fun, again, very different. A lot of women wouldn't have this already in their wardrobe because it's so different. And then you can see the little bit of tulle finishing. Again, Marie's attention to detail, the tulle finish at the end or at the bottom of the dress, but also at the top. So there's, every time you look at this dress, there's a new detail to look at. Again, allowing it to go from day to night. But I think this is just super fun. Yeah, I think you'd get a lot of compliments. Well, I know you'd get a lot of compliments dress, especially walking around in the day.
And this dress is thought as a sweater dress. It's in the same fabric I'm wearing right now, which is the stretch silk, which is an amazing fabric. Stretch silk is so comfortable. It's so sensual on your skin. You feel like you're in your joggers. You feel like you are in your own, you know, most comfortable clothes. I personally wash my silk on a very in the machine, and I dry it flat so I can wear it every day if I want. The fact that you can, it's a sweater dress, you can really play it down or play it up because of the detailing, but the shape remains quite simple and quite comfortable. Because at the end of the day, one thing I don't want is people saying, I have to change, I have to change. I hear that so many times. When you wear Marie Saint Pierre, many people don't change when they get home and they feel comfortable all day long. So that's a compliment for me. People telling me that they don't have the need to change after a few hours what they're wearing, as sometimes clothes can be really uncomfortable. You can be sweaty in it. All of my fabric are very appropriate for antimicrobial and dry fit. So I try to be concerned with the reality of life, not just the design aspect. I love to design, but I love to also solve problems and to make your life easier on any aspect that I can achieve that.
Next, we have Silas in the Florin 2 dress. Again, speaking from experience, because I own this dress, I have worn it so much, so many different ways, all through the winter, all through the summer. Again, it's one I can work all day in, run home, change my footwear, and go back out to dinner. And I've done that several times. Plus, it is, again, because of the beautiful scuba fabric, how it doesn't wrinkle. So it's my #1 dress, always goes in the suitcase immediately with no hesitation. You can throw a jacket over top. I love the tight sleeve because I think it's very slimming when you have a little more of a volume dress. But this can be also worn with Marie's leggings, leather pants, or even a short skirt if you want. Or for the summer, if you feel you want a little more length, going back to the biker short.
And just an example of that piece, the ruffle that is in front is not something that we buy. Sometimes people just buy the basmont. We create all of the trimmings that we use on the clothes, from bias cut, it looks very simple, and it really is a simple detail, but the tension and the weaving on each pleat it's done by hand. It's not done by a machine, and that's why it looks different, and that's why it has this timeless essence. So we develop those trimmings at home in our studio, and there is the markup of these trimmings are complex and difficult to achieve. There's many operations by cutting it in this sense, and by putting one thread to make sure that the pleats are all equal, because a machine will do a very tight ruffle. I don't like that. I like my ruffle to be more like a wave, like almost organic. So all these details come into play when you design clothes, where you actually focus on all the details of the construction and the details of the dress.
Rachel is now wearing the Galt dress. You're going to see the next 4 outfits to come out are all in this chantilly white, which I am obsessed with. You can wear it 12 months out of the year, but it's a great, again, it just screams summer right now, especially with the heat that we have. It looks fresh and cool. The fabric is cool. Here you have that little ruffle detail that Marie was just explaining, and again, very different. This can be worn as a tunic or as a dress, kind of like your summer sweater, as we talked about. And then this has the nice, the short sleeve to it. But this is a beautiful piece.
And just look at this fabric. The scuba is so fantastic in white because you don't see, it's not see-through. You don't see the seams. It's gonna stay like sparkling nice without any, you don't have to worry too much about what. Most of the time when you wear white, you're confronted with the transparency of a fabric. Scuba has a nice density, So the color is strong, and you're not afraid to walk in the woods, to walk in the street, and people seeing through your dress. You don't see the seam also, so it's a very clean, confection. That scuba is great, and those dresses you can wash them in the machine and have them dry flat on a towel, and it can be ready within a short cycle. It dries very, very fast. Within an hour or two, you have your white dress is perfect to go. So, and a lot of people are afraid to wear white because when you go have a drink, or you might have to spill something. Scuba, you can actually go in the bathroom, and really, it's not going to make a big circle. It's a very easy care fabric. It's quite easy for white to wear, and that's why I like this fabric so much. I think it has the modernity of the function that goes with that color.
And here we have an example of one tunic / dress. It's called red, the all red dress, sorry. And here we have it worn 2 different ways. Silas is wearing it just as a fun daytime dress, again with the oversized sneaker for running around town. And then we have Rachel, who's teamed it up with the Sanoot pant, which we're all obsessed with. And it has the tulle finishing at the bottom. So it looks like a dressier pant, but again, you could use it as an everyday, especially for this heat wave weather style pant. And again, a good example of how you can manipulate these items, change your accessories, and which will which will then go to a different event. But these are one outfit or one item worn 2 different ways, which I think is fun. Now here we have Rachel back, and Rachel has the same Sanoot pant on, but we've changed it. We just changed her top, and this is called the tile top, the tile shirt, which I again actually have, and it's a great piece. It can be worn as a jacket or as a tunic, worn all year round. You can even do it as a spring coat or an early fall coat. But I love the monochromaticness of the outfit. I think it's so fresh for summer. And again, because of the great scuba fabric, you just feel like you're wearing nothing. It's like wearing air. Now, Marie, I know you love the tile shirt. Is there anything that we want to mention? Oh, I love the invisible zipper. How your zippers are never seen.
Yeah, the invisible zipper that we have made for us, they're very strong. I mean, sometimes they break, but it's very rare. We do use a lot of those. Detachable zippers are also very unique to what we do in Marie Saint Pierre. You have to have the twist to put them, but the idea is to keep it, to keep it simple. When you iron, you don't have the buttons to take care of. It's a simplified way of life. And this shirt that is inspired by a man's shirt is a perfect piece to do a zoom or to feel comfortable. It has all the proportion of a loose fitting, but yet it's constructed like a man's shirt, so it has the ability to convince people in front of you that you're actually wearing something structured. So you're playing with, the angles of feminine, masculine again, because it's all white, because it's soft, because it's not in a material that men would wear. It goes again, play with this balance between feminine, masculine, function, pleasure. I like all these things to be intertwined in a piece, and to try to make the best piece ever. And I think the tile has made its success over, it's a classic over the years, because it has evolved into being a piece that has all these functions, and that people will not leave on a trip without it. They will definitely pack their tile shirt, or like their Anna jacket.
Now we have Silas, and now we're getting into another dimension of Marie Saint Pierre's designing. This dress actually has 3 separate fabrics on it. Not only does it have the scuba, but it also has the tulle. And then we also have, the two fabrics. We have the tulle in the mix of the scuba. And I love the thumb hole, which again gives it a real edge, very Hollywood, very glamorous, fun. If you don't like that, you can, just roll it underneath and pretend it's not even there. And it's a really fun dress. Again, you can wear, it's super sexy because of the sheer overlay. So we've done it very youthful and young with the running shoe, but it also looked great with a legging and a heel at night. But I love the combination of all the different fabrics and this tulle, which is very, very popular. So it gives a sensuality, but you're not really revealing anything.
And the beauty with tulle, it's so strong. It's such a strong material. I have pieces in tulle that for the last 20 years, and they're indestructible. So you're never scared to damage it, and yet it has that, femininity, transparency. It's extremely light, it moves well, but it's extremely strong. It's one of the strongest material I use ever is tulle. And you were right, there is a combination of three fabric. There's the scuba underneath, which I treat the underneath like I treat the outside. So we could have put just a layer inside that was more like a lining, but we use the scuba tunic underneath. We put the mesh top, and I did the very fine jersey for the sleeve that is a little bit shiny, that we use a lot. This is a jersey we use all the time. And again, those materials together are indestructible. And you can take off the underneath part to wear just the top part, so you can wear something else, a camisole and a pair of leggings underneath it. But the idea was to also be able to deconstruct those pieces and make them yours. And they are very, very strong. And yet when you pack it, it's, I don't know if you cannot, oh, well, this one is attached, I'm sorry. It's so small, and you don't even have to be careful. You just roll it in your suitcase and you have a dress. I love when things, take a small portion of my suitcase so I can have more space for my shoes.
Yeah, I second that. Here we have Rachel this is a skirt. This is called the Bellingen skirt. And this is, I think, a skirt that everybody should have in their wardrobe. And because it's great stretchy fabric. You could wear it 12 months out of the year. It goes high, it goes low, you can pull it up. And again, washable. But I think it's just what I would say, this is a classic in the wardrobe. Then and you can see that great high waistband, which is very, very comfortable. If you're like me, where you're 3 different sizes in one day, this is great because it can stretch in and out with you. Next, we have Silas again, and this is this beautiful tulle fabric again. Which, I mean, honestly, we have sold this dress. This dress now comes in navy. We've had it previously in black, but the Romana dress. And what I love about this dress is bare feet, entertaining in your backyard. You look glamorous and beautiful. You could take it to the beach. But we've also sold it for Mothers of the Bride. So it's just, if you want to say, this is everybody's little black dress or navy dress, because it's so easy to manipulate, and it's glamorous, it's timeless. I love how, the fabric just moves, especially if there's a wind, it just kind of moves with you. It's a beautiful dress.
Again, very sturdy. If you're going for errands, you're not scared that your dress is gonna rip off. It's a very sturdy dress. It stays the same way forever almost. It's an indestructible piece that you have in your wardrobe when you have this dress. So like the clients who have them, they like this piece to be there. Also one of their favorite wherever they go, down south or north, they put something over it. You can put a t-shirt underneath it. You can put it has the ability to transform again.
Not many people can say that they've bought a dress for a wedding and then literally wore it the next day to the grocery store, which is that dress. You could do so much with it. And then here's our last dress of the show. And this is called the Leanne dress. And again, so many different things going on in this dress. Not only do we have navy, black, natural, but we've got different fabrics. We have a high-low look. We've got that beautiful sheer look with the natural tulle along the bottom. And then we've got a great little slip on its own. So this could also, we've also had customers just use the tulle piece as a bathing suit cover up. And then, but at the same time, you've got a beautiful little slip to use with your Anna jackets or any of Marie Saint Pierre's jackets. So again, this is a very unique piece of, again, wearable art. And I think it's a fabulous piece. And we've teamed it up with the sporty shoe, but again, you could use it with a dress shoe as well. So that actually concludes our fashion show. Before we get to question period and have Marie answer any questions that have been put into the chat line, we want to show you the beautiful perfumes that Marie generously has donated as a gift with purchase for today. And Marie, if you'd like to talk about not only what C and B means, but also I know there's a design feature even in the bottle.
Yes. I mean, creating a perfume, and in this case, 2 perfume is probably the one of the best pleasure a designer can do. Like, that's really a second skin. And I have had the pleasure of meeting, I mean, a top developer for these perfume in France, and we developed them in Grasse with the most perfect products. We use only bio products, very few essence that are made up. One is in the B, that stands for wood, bois. I made up a scent that was that would replace the traditional vanilla and make it a maple sap. So give it really a Canadian spirit to it without being you know, too sweet or and so we had to make that. It does not exist in the juice. And we all to combine with the maple, I did also the violet. So that's another juice that you have to create, because violets are too fragile to make a juice out of it. But every other products are 100% natural. So our perfumes are to the highest norms on the planet for in terms of quality. You should know that there's 2 norms, one for Europe and one for North America. Or all of the other world. There's over 200 or 300 specific products that you can use in North America to create some smells that are chimic. And in Europe, when you do it to the traditional way of perfume, the rules are very, very strict so you cannot have a reaction to it, an allergic reaction. They're actually not going to give you cancer like a lot of products today will do because they put so many chemicals in it. And I developed those 2. So B is for bois, wood, and C is for cuir, which is leather. So one is more about a walk in the woods with all the flowers that you can smell and the leaves. Again, really being inspired by nature when I was a child. The violet and the rose is also notes that I remember my grandma had in her house. Like almost all perfume were rose based 50 years ago. And cuir is more about when I start to meet the great perfumer in the world. When I was traveling, I developed a big admiration for perfume. My mother we used to know a lot of French people, and the perfect gift was, of course, a perfume. And the house of Guerlain was the top house in the world. And so every time I would go to my mom's bathroom, there would be all of these amazing juices, amazing perfume that smelled like magic, and it just created for me the open mind and the knowledge also of a good smell. My father was in wine too. Smelling was a big part of my upbringing. And so I developed those two essence with this Paris lady who was one of the nose for l'artisan parfumeur. Some who know niche perfume, they know who they are. So it's a niche perfume, but it's very, it stays very well on the skin. It's called an eau de parfum, but truly is developed like a perfume. It's very generous, and it's very, you can mix them together. You can put B and C together. You can put B in the morning and C at night. They're both unisex. You can spray your boyfriend, or they are in a timeless zone. They're more about emotions and about smell. So the C is a little bit more masculine because it's inspired by masculine perfume. For a while in my life, since I had smelled a lot of perfume from my mom, I started to dig into the men's perfume section, and I wore men's perfume for many years because they were just different. And for some reason, maybe I attract more men like that when I was a teenager. But so I dived into the men's perfume, and that's why I did those two, which are not, necessarily segmented by sex, but more as specific odors that you develop when you go into the men's perfume. Is more about spice, orange, citrus notes, and they're both really, they won a prize in Switzerland for the best perfume the year they were developed. So I'm very proud of them. After so many years, they're still very relevant.
That's great. Now we're going to go over to Rachel, and I think there's some questions waiting for you, Marie.
Pleasure.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much, Marie. That was, even I felt like I learned so much, and I thought I knew everything. So that was amazing. So just a few questions for you that hopefully you can elaborate on a few of the themes. So you've always said that how a woman moves in your clothes is a very important element to the integrity of the garment. And I know you touched on it a little bit, but can you just speak to that theory of movement and how the woman moves? Because during your presentation that we attended in the pre-fall, which was amazing, I thought that was so cool how you had the model walk back and forth, so you could really kind of see the drape and flow. So can you just expand on that for everyone? Because I think that's a really key element.
Well, I developed the clothes on a live model, so it's really key how the movement of the cloth I put on goes, and it's like it goes. The model goes back and forth many times, so I see exactly how, when she relaxes, when she does it less like a model, when she just walks back to her spot, how the fabric reacts, how it stands with another fabric, because there's weight between fabric. And I often use a composite fabric. I either bond them together, or I use a lot of time different force material together, one to structure, one to give more aerial, like the mesh. So it's very important for me to see how the woman moves in my clothes, because one thing I don't want to hear is my clothes making you stop your day. I'm there to propulse you to do as much as you can in a day. I'm like a push in your life. I don't want to be restraining you and, oh, I'm not comfortable or have to go change. That's not possible. We know. I mean, we have busy lives, and we don't have time to stop and just wonder. So the clothes have to be, our second skin. They have to be our daily armor. They have to help us conquer our day, our dreams, our fights, and when you have that feeling, you become, if you feel good, I think you do good. I think it's all connected. You cannot wear something that is uncomfortable, itchy, or whatever, and be generous. I find that in order to feel open to people, to have gratitude, you need to have some kind of well-being and some kind of balance within your life. So when the clothes that you wear gives you that, gives you the edge to push you, because it's so important what you wear, how you look to people. It's not just a piece of cloth, it's a communication. If you wear a dress with, you know, bright pink and it's along to the floor, you're sending a message to the people that are surrounding you. And it's that kind of second degree communication can become very important on a daily basis with your environment, with the people, and with yourself too. Today I feel like this, or and choosing comfort and well-being and style at the same time. It doesn't go against one another. You know, for many years in the history of fashion, you had to choose between being comfortable, or you didn't choose to be comfortable. You just had to choose to be in fashion. In the 20s, we saw the liberation of women with bias cut invented by Madeleine Vionnet, which is one of the most important designer on the planet, but we don't hear much about her because she was a woman. She created the first syndicate for the sewers. She's such an important figure that if you ask any designer on the planet who is their main source of inspiration, they will all say Madeleine Vionnet, because she really invented the bias cut that gives movement to the clothes. And so she liberated women. They didn't have to wear a corset anymore. They could wear just beautiful flowy fabric, and when using it against the grain like that gave it some more body, some more roundness, some more movement.
And I think that's a brilliant way to describe it, is the second degree of communication. Like, I absolutely love that, because it's totally, you nailed it right there for sure. So kind of then leading into the next question, this pandemic has emerged a new work from home culture that we're all kind of trying to adjust to. With a closet full of beautiful clothes meant for the outside world, what would you say to the woman that says, you know, my clothes are too good to wear at home? What would kind of be your message to them?
I mean, most of my clients, they still wear it and they've been very busy. A lot of my clients have been busy during this pandemic, you know, trying to solve crisis, and they still are going through a very weird period and difficult period. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of, I mean, there's so many things happening right now, and women's in governance, and there's many aspects, and clothes are your protection. Whether we see this part or we see everything, I feel that I do clothes that are not reserved for an occasion. Like I said prior, I think they're reserved for you, and the one who benefits more is you, the wearer, because I use good fabrics that are breathable, that are antibacterial, so you don't perspire in them. They're soft, they're easy to care. I mean, I wash this dress and I don't need to press it. I just, you know, dry it flat and it comes out beautifully. I mean, it's very little energy it's asking me. I don't need to send it to the dry cleaner and have some products, chemical products on it. I use my good soap and I put it back on and it's ready to go in, you know, in no time. So that kind of easiness to wear the clothes, what do you need another, you know, like just a plain t-shirt when my clothes do the same work? It gives you the same kind of comfort and easiness where you can just throw it in the washer, and I mean, it needs a little bit more care, but really not much. So I think when you think about care of clothing, that gives you the ability to wear them more. If you know how to take good care of your clothing, except for jackets that need certain kind of, but every other piece, most of all, can be, you know, clean in a gentle cycle in a machine, and that makes them your best friend, because then you don't need to run around to go get them. So it's important. The function of clothes is very important, and I think when I design, it's at the center of what I design all the time.
No, and you're absolutely right. If I am a walking poster child, I have a 5-month-old or a 5-week-old, baby, and a 2.5-year-old. And I've been wearing my scuba endlessly with my silk t-shirt, and it's good as new. So if I can do it, anybody can do it for sure. Yeah. Yeah. So that's all the questions that I have for you, Marie. So thank you so much. Lisa, I'll turn it over to you for some closing remarks.
Well, first of all, Marie, on behalf of the Hangar9 family, I want to thank you for your time and effort today. This is a whole new world for us, And I think because we can't have live events, this has created an event where actually it's maybe even a little more intimate than our regular live events. And I want to thank all of my staff who actually, in honor of Marie Saint Pierre, are actually all wearing Marie Saint Pierre today. Do you want to come up?
Oh, I love you all. Oh, you look good.
And Jen. And Jen's wearing this great leather dress, the full leather dress. So
Yes.
even though they weren't supposed to be on camera, they decided to all wear their Marie Saint Pierre. And so I want to thank you for your time, your inspiration, and just for being you.
Thank you for your support over all these years. You're amazing, an amazing store, and Toronto is lucky to have you. And not Toronto, but sorry. And I mean, love doing business with you guys, and I hope you have enjoyed the presentation and you've learned more about the brand.
Okay, and thank you everybody for joining us, and I appreciate everyone's time. Thank you, and stay safe.